These are the voyages of the Indispensable Thursday Show. Its mission? To boldly go where no podcast has gone before.
Recorded live at the Depends for Men Undergarment Studios in Orange County, California. It's the Indispensable Thursday Show with Sable and Dave. Mediocrity never goes out of style.
That's right. We're back to multiple different openings.
Sorry, Derek.
Sorry, Derek. We like our multiple
Star
intros.
Trek opening there. That was I didn't know about that. That was funny. I think I would have said too. If you handed it to me, I'd go. How about have him say, agonizingly go where every single podcast has gone before. Yeah, we're breaking new ground.
We are breaking new ground here. Mm-hmm. So there was a very talented engineer, and he died of old age, and he went up to the pearly gates, and he stood in line, and he was sort of grumbling, you know, as us old guys do.
This is not a train engineer, right? Not the guy that wears the hat and pulls the whistle thing?
No, he is actually a structural engineer.
Okay.
Designs and builds things.
Okay, I'm just getting a visual.
And he says, you know, the lines here are a little too long. Something's not right. They need to fix the system up here. And he finally gets through the long line to the front, and the guy looks at the clipboard, the angel,
St. Peter,
the guy, St. Peter. He looks at him and he says, "You're in the wrong line, buddy. Head over to the escalator."
Uh-oh.
And so the poor engineer, after all the waiting, descends down to hell. Oh. Now God calls down to his buddy Satan a couple weeks later. He says, "Murray, how are things doing down there?"
Murray.
And Murray, we know him as Satan. He says, "Oi, Moishe, you'll never believe it. It's great here. We've got air conditioning, we've got escalators and elevators, and it's wonderful since you sent since you sent down that engineer." And God says, "Wait a second. That must have been a mistake. Send him back." "No, Moishe, I'm keeping him." "You better send him up, Murray." "No, Moishe, I think he'll stay." "I'm going to sue you, Murray." "With what lawyers, Moishe?"
I get it. So God, So the devil is insinuating that God has no lawyers up in heaven. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, right.
Your friend's gonna like that joke too. He probably told it to you, didn't he? Your friend, what's his name? I don't want to say his name just in case. He didn't license us to use his name.
I have a couple of friends.
Yeah.
Not just you and Coda stinking up the place.
Oh God, Coda.
That dog.
What do you got for me today, Sable? What's going on?
Oh, I'm so excited. So not only was there Halloween, which is a big deal, in the United States of America anyways.
Yeah.
And I noticed as I was looking at some of the downloads that we have quite a few Indonesian downloads. I don't know if we have listeners.
Hello, Indonesia!
But I just wanted to explain, in case there are actually non-American listeners, Halloween is an American holiday. And we dress our children up as all kinds of whatever they want to dress up as, whatever their favorite characters or scary things are. And we go to strangers and beg them to give us sugar so we can be addicted and fall into a coma. And it's wonderful.
It is a fun time. Yeah, Very strange. No one kind of knows what the original intent behind Halloween was, but now it's like, you know, dress up as... when I was a kid, it was always a scary thing. You want to be a mummy or a vampire or a Frankenstein monster or something. But even when I was a guy... It wasn't always like that. I'd seen pictures of my grandparents at parties, and they're dressed up as kind of goofy stuff too. You know, not
like sexy nurse,
not like Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah, sexy nurse or sexy accountant or sexy Holocaust survivor. You know, those stuff, weird stuff like this.
Pretty much all women dress up as sexy something.
Yeah,
which I think
even when they probably shouldn't.
I think it's fascinating in the age of feminism that women still dress up as sexy whatever.
It is interesting. It might even be a subject for an entire show.
Oh.
Why do they still... Like, if you go to a lesbian Halloween party, I mean, are they just dressed up as, like...
Joe DiMaggio?
I'm a mailman. Male person. They're just wearing their male person outfit. Male carrier. Male carrier.
Male carrier.
Reminds me of that joke, you know, how many lesbians does it take to screw in a light bulb?
I don't know how many.
The answer is, that's not funny. Yeah, I've told that one before, but it's a classic.
A classic. So we had our Halloween festivities. I let the children vote, and they voted me, instead of being a Sith Lord, as I dressed last year, they voted me as a ninja.
Oh.
So I put on the black clothes. I put a rope around my shoulder, carried a big flashlight. They said, ninjas don't need flashlights, Dad.
They do if they're trying to, break into a palace to assassinate someone in the dark. What if there's not a full moon out there?
I said, this ninja's going to stop traffic while we're crossing the streets.
You did still wear your nice little nightie underneath, right? Just to keep the feminine side like you do on Halloween, right?
I did carry my wooden practice swords.
Oh, okay.
The
ones
ones
like kendo swords or something?
Yeah, they're hard. They're hardwood. I have a pair because 25 years ago when I used to practice that stuff, you needed them for the full-on practice. This is the kind that it's kind of like a shapen baseball bat, where if you hit somebody with it, you would actually kill them. And I have kept the pair of them sort of hidden in the garage for all these years because I figured I got them out. I figured if the boys ever got into them, somebody would get hurt.
Oh, no, come on.
But I needed my costume to look good, so I grabbed the two of them, and man, they lost their mind. As soon as I pulled out that full-size practice sword, they were just losing it.
Yeah,
that's
great.
Cool.
What else you got? I have a couple of uninteresting things to talk about, but I'll try to make them interesting.
Okay.
You got anything on your notes there?
I've got them.
You just have. We don't really do notes. It's like this is not scripted. Other than some of the little bits, sometimes we'll do a bit.
Well, I want to tell the listeners.
We'll say, talk about this thing, and then we just kind of go.
I want to let the listeners know. I've tried to do some Google Doc sharing with you, but you don't look at the doc. I send you links over on the Slack, and you don't look at the Slack either. So I just make my own notes, and we talk about whatever we talk about.
I kind of like to be surprised by your notes a lot of times too.
Okay,
so it depends. I like to just come in cold, react to whatever notes you have. What do you got there?
Well, the first thing I want to tell you about is a concert I was able to be in, and this was super cool. And oh, by the way, we might have had some listeners or new listeners from the concert.
Oh, good.
So if any of those new listeners want to get a hold of us, you can call us at
657-206-0777.
Thanks, Jesse.
Yeah, thanks, Jesse.
So one of the bands that I'm in.
Hold on, I have to cut him another check for that. Every time we play that, I have to give him like $7.12. So hang on.
One of the fun little bands that I play in, we're just making up some different arrangements of Jewish stuff. Well, we ended up opening a concert in Long Beach for this blues guy, which is crazy because we're not doing anything blues related. There was a country song in there, but mostly some Jewish stuff. But we opened for this guy, Laser Lloyd.
Now, you know what that reminded me of when you said you mentioned this, Laser Lloyd. It reminded me of the Pink Floyd laser show that I used to go to see up at Griffith Park Observatory. I don't know if they still have it. This was back in my high school days. But it was called, what was it? Dark. I can't remember. I'll think of it. But they also had a Led Zeppelin. It was called Laser Lead. You'd watch the laser. This is before they had IMAX 3D.
Oh.
So this is, nobody cares anymore.
Well, Laser Lloyd is an Israeli blues player. He actually moved out to Israel 20 years ago. Check it out. This is a little song he wrote about his wife, his Moroccan wife with his 5 children. Just some really great blues riffs.
Yeah, I'm digging
his
that.
guitar.
I don't know what he's saying, but I like the sound of that guitar.
So I don't know the guy, never met him before, never actually even heard about him. All I know is we're going to open a show for him. So we go and we, do our sound check and set up, and this long bearded guy, long Orthodox Jewish beard guy, walks up. He's pretty cool. He's got an Israeli bass player, and then just like a regular young skinny drummer dude from the valley.
Like from the valley?
Yeah, it was like from the valley.
They're from Van Nuys.
Probably was from Van Nuys. He was telling me about a blues jam in the valley that I should check out.
It was off of like Hazeltine and
So we're talking to them. We say, look, we're going to do these crazy songs that hopefully the people at the Jewish audience will appreciate, the Jewish songs that we're doing. And then at the end, we're going to do this one that it's sort of a jam song. And it's in A minor, and we would love it if you would just come on while we're doing this song and just start playing along with us. And then we'll finish up, and we'll get out of the way, and you'll take on the show, and it'll be a nice transition. Now, Laser doesn't know us. We don't know him. And he's a fantastic player who's been hired to come out from Israel to perform. And he's looking at us like, what are these fat old guys going to be doing on the stage? So I could tell he was completely not even an answer like maybe. He was like, "Oh, that could be really fun," right? And then I didn't see him.
Yeah, maybe. And he just walks away.
So we're doing our. It was like a 30-minute opening set, and we did "Keep on the Sunny Side Alive." This fun thing where we do a Jewish song that goes in to teach your children, but at the end we do this little jam song, and he comes up. In the song.
Okay. So he came out. Okay.
So this is the one song I switched over to trombone.
Maybe he thought if these guys are a bunch of like hose bags, I'm not going to bother.
Right.
But I guess he kind of liked your vibe. Okay, I'll come out there. That's good.
Basically, if it was embarrassing, he was going to wait till we were gone before he walked up. But it was all right. And I happened to be playing trombone on this one song. Usually I play guitar or sing. This one song of the set I played trombone. And he comes in, the bass player and the drummer, and then they all kick in. And I get to trade some solos, trombone, with Laser Lloyd on guitar.
That's cool.
That was pretty nice.
Did you guys get to bang some Orthodox Jew groupies after the show?
Yeah, they're not allowed to touch women in the Orthodox.
Not even the groupies?
No, not even the groupies.
They probably don't have Orthodox groupies, I guess.
I'm sure they do.
Is that what you're telling me? They just don't... Oh, they do?
I'm sure they do, yeah. They just don't touch each other,
Who doesn't touch each other?
The women and the men, they don't touch each other.
Okay, wow. All right. Yeah. I know. Okay. I know what you mean. It's good stuff. It's like the Jewish Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh, man, he's good.
Yeah, it's good.
So you can, if you want to listen to Laser Lloyd, I can let you listen to all that, because I got the CD. But for the listeners out there that want to check him out, it's Laser, Lazer Lloyd, 2 L's, Lloyd. I think it's laserlloyd.com. Or you could go to Amazon if you use our link at theindispensable.com/Amazon. You can search for Laser Lloyd. I bought the CD, the actual CD.
Yeah. Laser, is that a stage name or is that his actual name? I don't know. Some of these Orthodox names could actually be right.
I think it's actually his name.
Wow, Laser. Okay.
Yeah.
With the Z. It's obviously not based on the other kind of laser because that's an S.
Well, it's possible that he was from hippie parents.
Could be.
I worked with a guy named
Do you know
Magic.
what laser stands for? It's an acronym, by the way. In the age of Google, I don't think any kid would ever know this. They just Google it if they had to find out. But.
I would Google it, except that I actually did know this at one point. Do you remember when the movie, I think it was Real Genius, came out?
Yeah, with Val Kilmer.
The Val Kilmer. He goes off to the genius school, and they're building a giant laser. Yeah. Mm-hmm. At that point in my life, I knew what it meant.
Okay. Well,
are you going to tell me?
Yes, I will. But I just want to tell the ladies I'm taken. So just because I know what laser stands for, don't get any ideas now. It stands for light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation.
Thank you.
Yeah. There's a couple other words thrown in there that I guess they decided not to incorporate into the word.
Stimulated and emission.
Yeah, right. So let's see where you're going.
I know what you like to talk about. So that was like the weekend was great enough with Halloween and the trick-or-treating. My neighborhood sort of died down a little bit. In all the years that I've lived here, I sort of complained a little bit that people would drive up in these vans, minivans, and they would just stop at the corner and just kids would pour out of the vans.
What?
Like 10, 12, 15 kids would come out of these vans, and they would just let them onto the streets in my neighborhood and pick them up somewhere else.
What?
And that happened every year except this year.
Huh.
This year,
busing in from trick-or-treaters busing in from other neighborhoods.
Yeah. It was weird.
That is weird.
But this year, it was so cool. We didn't have all like the carload. The streets weren't packed as far as you could see. There was some groups of kids, and it turns out I knew a lot of them because they're all from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So here's a big group of like some kids and then a bunch of teenagers dressed up as sexy whatevers. It's like, oh, that's my neighbor Veronica over there. And Beto,
sexy
hey.
Donald Trump. Yeah, that's cute. We were doing the same thing. We hooked up with other family down the street who've got 2 daughters, similar ages to ours. But there was a big group. We were all walking past, and I was thinking, I don't remember a group of drunk adults following me while I was trick or treating. We were just on our own. They're just like, yeah, go on out there. Let me look at your candy afterward in case there's a needle or a razor blade stuck in it. Which, by the way, never happened until this year. Apparently, that never happened. None of those razor
Was this the
blade
first
needle
year?
Stories or ever. Apparently, I don't know if it's true, but I saw some pictures online. Oh, needles inside a Snickers bar. Someone probably just took the picture.
Was it more scare tactics?
Probably. It probably still didn't happen.
Sometimes there's.
It was all based on a story of a guy that actually killed he was trying to kill his kids for insurance money. He put what's that really bad poison? Like, it's the first poison you'll think of. What is it?
Like ricin?
Nah, what's another one?
I'm not an expert
Not
on
like
poisons.
anthrax, but some other just like some other thing that's an obvious poison. But he put it in a pixie stick, and he was the only guy that gave out pixie sticks that year. So they came right back to him, and he's like, okay. So he got caught, but he killed his son, and the daughter didn't die. She had some of it, I guess. But so that's where all those stories came from. Is this one guy who thought he could effing get away with having an insurance policy on his kids and poisoning his own kids. What a douche! I'm going to look up that guy's name and try to put a hit on him in prison if he's still alive.
Right? We could use the power of the audience to reach out.
Let's crowdsource this prison hit. Yeah? Is there a website for that?
So you go to Kickstarter to see if you could get the prison, and I'll start a Kickstopper. We'll see whichever one raises the most money.
You got to rain on my parade with that one.
No, because either way we win.
I guess.
Either way we'd get the money.
There's a lot of money. Okay, well. No. No one's going to listen.
If there's $10 on the Kickstarter and $20 on the Kickstopper, we make $20.
Yeah, we're like playing it from both ends.
It's playing both sides. Yeah,
I got you.
I like that.
Yeah. What else you got? You almost said something there.
Oh yeah.
What do you got?
We said, what else do you got?
Oh.
So I was going to go to the next thing. So after this,
you were answering my question. How strange.
After this great weekend, right? Halloween and candy and this really fun concert. There's another band. I'm playing a wedding next weekend. This is one that Brittany would love because
Brittany of the Dollamore, I doubt it, podcast.
Here's the set list. Celebration. I'll be around. Play that funky music. You're still a young man. How long? Evil Ways beginnings. Sorry, it's a private party. I barely get to go. I got to play to get in there. I mean, this is a great set list. I got to set my stuff up.
Okay.
So after this great weekend, I get home from work Monday, and there's a package for me. And I go, oh, I was expecting a package today, but there was no one ever said it was delivered. It was my new Apple TV.
Oh, I thought it was the bidet we were talking about last
Oh,
week.
man,
I
got that. I got that. I'm waiting for it to get installed.
Mm-hmm. You have someone else install it?
I do.
Good. Yeah.
I'm
you don't want that thing pointing at the wrong spot. Or maybe you do. Wait a minute now that I think about it. Huh. Okay.
It's not that
Hold on. I'm still thinking.
It's not that I couldn't install it. It's I would rather not install it.
Yeah. Okay.
I just don't want to have to fret over, did I screw up tightening the water thing? Is it going to flood my bathroom and cause an insurance problem?
You want an experienced professional.
So this delivery was the Apple TV,
which
I was not able to buy on Amazon because they don't freaking sell Apple TV on Amazon anymore.
Okay.
Amazon.
Are they at war with each other?
Amazon is at war with Google and Apple. They don't sell their streaming boxes anymore. It's very petty.
Yeah.
It's very minuscule of them. Mm-hmm. If I hadn't already bought over 100 Kindle books in the Kindle store, I probably would not buy any more Kindle books from them.
Except for Whiskey Tango, a whole nother kind of spy novel. You probably would still buy that one, right?
I did buy that one.
Yeah, you did.
I did. You got my $1 from that. So I got my new Apple TV. Now, this is the latest generation of Apple TV. And we've talked about a few times on the show in the past how neither one of us have cable anymore. And we
are the cord cutters that you hear so much about.
And we do some streaming. Mm-hmm. So I've been using a 720p Apple TV for all these 4 years, I think, since that box came out. And it was pretty fantastic. And I know if you go...
But your TV was 1080?
Well, I had a 720 TV at the time.
Okay.
And then I had a 1080. It looked just fine.
Right. It up converts to 720 to the 1080 and looks damn good.
I mean, the new Apple TV.
This up conversion thing is really blowing my mind because I'll watch old DVDs. Like I'll put in, or DVD that I've ripped even, like Double Indemnity, that great Billy Wilder movie, one of my faves, and it looks freaking fantastic. It looks like, yes, when you put the 1080p, when you put an actual 1080p on, you go, okay, I see the difference. But those look fantastic.
They're surprisingly good on the upscale.
Yeah.
But I wasn't complaining, except that the old Apple TV would sometimes crash when we were watching Netflix.
Yeah.
So it's showing its age. So I'm really excited. We were waiting for the new Apple TV to come out. The new Apple TV came out, and now you could go read some reviews. It seems like the whole Apple world is like jacking itself off over this new Apple TV and all the things that are right and wrong with it. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you, man, the best thing about having the Apple TV hooked up in my living room is when my uncle or my dad come over and they pull out their iPhone, whoosh, and I hook it up to the Wi-Fi and they just play their music on the stereo. And they show their picture. Like we sit around sharing pictures. You just flick. There it is. It's on the screen. You're flicking through, telling all your story. Like everybody's sitting around looking at the TV, watching pictures. It's so seamless.
It could be
and
bad
painless.
if it's an older person who's like maybe they took a picture of some sort of thing on their shoulder to send to their dermatologist to ask them if it's okay, and then that like whips by. That's no good.
It could be embarrassing.
Yeah. By the way, I thought you were going to say. It's fantastic when your favorite times are when your drunk podcast co-host comes over and you do karaoke at midnight when you're supposed to be sleeping, which we did last night.
Now, that was pretty funny. So a couple of things. I'll give you the quick rundown. If you guys are interested in the Apple TV, I'll give you the quick review.
You're talking to me and Coda or the listeners?
You and the listeners.
Oh.
Dave, if you think that an Apple TV is interesting to you, just buy it. It's a great device.
Yeah.
If you think I never buy anything Apple, then don't buy it. I don't understand what all the argument is for.
Yeah, there you go.
If you have spent $1,000 buying Amazon video, then you should get an Amazon streaming box.
Yes, I'm in the Amazon environment, so I kind of stick with that area.
But if you own iPhone,
this box was pretty bitchin'.
If you own an iPhone, you should have an Apple TV. It's a great accessory.
Yeah.
So first of all, setup is pretty easy. You turn it on. It says, hold your phone close to it. It's lonely. You hold your phone close to it. You say, yes, I agree. And then it just copies all your iCloud stuff.
They sniff each other's genitals and stuff. Okay.
They sniff each other's butts. They get that nice smell. And then poof, it's on the Wi-Fi. It's all hooked up. It's got your account.
Great.
All your movies and TV shows are there. It's good. And I happen to buy stuff on Apple TV shows and movies.
Yeah.
So for me, that's fine. I don't like having to buy it and download it and store it and run a media server and do all that business. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work running a Plex server and having network attached storage so that I can watch a 20-minute show.
And usually what happens is you're like a party or something. You're standing around, everyone's got a cocktail, and you're like, "Oh, you got to check this thing out." And then that's the moment when everything decides not to talk to each other correctly. You got like 4 links. And it's like, "Oh, is it my router or is it this device? Oh, right. Oh, these aren't pairing. Okay, hang on. Oh, it's paired to another of my Bluetooth speakers." And by that time,
everyone's
the mood
gone.
is killed. You lost your erection. It's all it's over.
Right. Well, and I used to be the guy that would still not pay for cable, but I would bring my laptop out and hook it up to the TV.
Yeah.
Now, as annoying as that is, that always worked. I could always
HDMI cable.
I could always just plug the computer directly into the TV, and it was fine.
Yeah.
So now with the Apple TV, the new one, first the remote controls my stereo. It turns the TV off and on with the Apple TV, so I almost don't need one more remote, which is kind of cool. It's got this neat touch interface I'm not used to.
Yeah, I noticed you were like sliding your thumb across like you would a touch screen device.
Typing on the keyboard sucks balls.
Always does though in all those interfaces. I don't know why.
But since I'm not used to the new glass trackpad on the remote, it sucks balls even more than the old ones that you're used to because it's a whole new thing.
Yeah.
So maybe it won't be terrible, but then 5 minutes I had the Apple TV on, I had my account. There's an app store, So you go to the App Store. Well, there I pay for Netflix. Let's install it. Get a couple games for the kids. They really like this Mr. Turtle or Mr. Crab. Mr. Crab. It's this game where you just jump. That's it. That's all you have to do is jump.
Try to jump into someone's underpants and get hooked onto their pubic hair. Go home.
And then you have to spread throughout the high school.
He's like, "Ooh, I think I can get on the tanning bed. They took off their underwear. I'm going to get onto this tanning bed. Get onto someone else." I have a friend who got it from a tanning bed.
Really?
Look out, people, from the tanning bed. And he knows he got it from the tanning bed because he was like really young. He hadn't even had sex yet. So he was like, well, I did just go tanning and I was nude. So that's where, so I picked up crabs from a goddamn tanning bed. Oh, that sucks. That's the worst way to get crabs ever. I would much rather say, oh my God, this chick was it was amazing. She was crazy.
Oh, dude, I did
get crabs, but it was worth it.
And she was like an older chick, man, but she was so hot. You know how some of those ladies keep themselves together,
Cougar
man?
Crabs would even be better than crabs from a tanning bed. Oh, boy. Oh, I think I just came up with the title of the show.
Cougar Crabs.
Cougar Crabs or Crabs from the Tanning Bed, like Tales from the Dark Side.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Oh, boy.
So there's the App Store, and the App Store shows you all the things that are popular. And as I was just browsing around, a couple games for the kids, I saw the app called Sing by a company Smule, S-M-U-L-E.
It's not Shmuley, like from an Orthodox Jewish company?
Could be Shmuley, but the guy pronounces
I love the name
Shmule.
That's like the coolest name, the coolest Jewish guy name. I love it. Yeah.
So and I met some guys at Shmule at the NAMM show one time. So it's an interesting company. They do interesting things. I don't like to spend a lot of in-app purchases, so I don't use a lot of their apps. But they had this Sing app on the Apple TV. I put it on. I wonder what it's like. It's like excellent karaoke.
Really good karaoke. Yeah, it was fun. We came stumbling in from a nearby tavern, and we
that has what'd you say, about 23 beers on tap?
Pretty good selection. I had a few IPAs, a couple doubles, really good. Got a buzz. We came back and just started singing. It was hilarious.
I recommended this particular drinkery because it's walking distance from my house.
That's a key feature.
And I knew that if I walked,
it's staggering distance from your house. It's good.
Could you drink louder, Dave?
What are we working on here? I'm working on a bullet whiskey, and you've got you got a mixture.
You've got a bullet bourbon, and I took the last swig of bullet bourbon, and I mixed it with the Tullamore Irish whiskey.
That's a very trailer trash move, by the way, too. I told you it was okay. Now that you've exposed yourself as full on whiskey tango white trash, I'm gonna let that out there.
Well, I didn't want to put a swig of bullet bourbon back.
That's so people if you go to wine tasting and you have a little bit of left of one wine and you just pour it in the other, they're gonna know that you're just full on trailer trash.
Dave, this is not wine.
No, it's not. I would do the same thing. I'm just busting your
oh,
chops.
Okay. All right, it's fine. So I'm just showing you the karaoke app, and there's a couple hundred songs on there for free.
Yeah.
The lyrics scroll by, plays the music, and here we are. It's 12:15 at night, and Dave is screaming at the top of his lungs whatever songs we were trying out.
Would you light my candle?
That was a great Rent duet.
I was doing the chick part.
We should do that on video next time.
Yeah, let's do it. It'll be a massive treat for all the fans. Right. What else you got? I got a tech thing. It sort of dovetails into a tech thing. Or do you want to finish up on that? Or
let's wrap up Apple TV.
Okay.
So there's a lot to say. I mean, I could literally just talk the whole hour about the Apple TV and all the ins and outs. Just quick tip: if you do own the new Apple TV, this is not enough reason to buy one. If you already own one and you're on the home screen,
how much is it, by the way?
$150.
Okay.
You tap the remote is rechargeable. It's a Bluetooth. It controls all your other devices. It's pretty fantastic for $150.
Okay.
Comes with the lightning cable. You know, those Apple cables are like $100 each anyways. Seems like a good deal when it comes with the cable. So if you tap on the menu button twice, it goes directly to the screensaver.
Oh, yeah.
And the screensaver...
Even the screensaver's cool.
Dude, the screensaver... So Apple has been, since they have had Maps a couple years, they've been flying over major cities.
Yeah.
And the screensaver is high-def, slow-motion video over these cities. So you see the streets of New York as the plane or helicopter is flying over. And the video's moving slowly, but the cars are moving.
Yeah, it's
the lights
real time,
are blinking.
and it's floating like as if you're in a sort of like a. I thought maybe they shot it from like a blimp or a zeppelin or like a hot air balloon. It looks like that. It could have been a helicopter, I guess, but going that slow, I don't know. I have to look into that.
I think the video is slow mo. They probably took it at full speed.
Real time. Remember it was real time. You could see the cars going by, and it was really cool. It's a feature.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Nice. If you fly over a city you've never been, it was really kind of cool.
So if you want a streaming box and you're not sure which one to get, and you have never spent money on anything, and you have an Android phone, you should get the Roku 4, I think, the latest Roku box, or the Roku stick. That's going to be the best thing for you, because it does Google Play, it does everything. Mm-hmm. If you already have money in Amazon, get the Amazon streaming box. And if you own an iPhone or an iPad, the Apple TV is probably the way to go. And there's already there's so many great apps on there. It's ridiculous. Or redonkulous. You could say redonkulous.
Redonkulous? What's
redonkulous? I don't know. I heard that from one of the youngins.
How young? Like 5 or like 25?
College.
Oh, college. Redonkulous.
Redonkulous.
I used to say ridiculous. Sorry, I broke our rules. That's ridiculous. I like that one.
Cheese and rice, man. Watch your language.
Rice.
Mother, father.
Mother, puss bucket. Okay. I almost got a street sweeper ticket, by the way, a couple weeks ago. It was awesome. It's another one of these suspenseful stories.
Oh, wait. Elliot, I want you to skip ahead 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't want you to get upset about the trash.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it's not trash day. It's street sweeper day.
Same thing.
Did he have a beef with my trash thing? Anyway, I forget. So
you have 1 minute and 40 seconds before Elliot comes back. I need you to tell the story.
I'm taking the daughter to school. Mm-hmm. I parked the car on the street the other day because I wanted to play in the driveway and I forgot about it. And it was a bad night to do it because the next day is street sweeper day, right? And I forgot. So I'm in there and I don't know about it yet. I'm just trying to get the daughter ready and she hates getting ready. So I have to basically put her foot into the shoe while she's staring at the TV screen with drool coming out of her mouth. It's not quite that bad, but putting it in there. And then I start going, where are my keys? I don't know where my keys are. So I start wandering the house looking for my keys. I don't know where they are. I'm like, damn, I made like three orbits through the house. Don't know where my keys are. And then I hear a knock on the door. I'm like, go over there. It's the next door neighbor, Valerie. She's like, the street sweeper's coming. Your car's out front. I'm like, oh shit. I don't know where my keys are. I'm like, how close is this? So I run out and I see them. I see him down the street. And I see the truck behind him. That's the parky guy. I'm like,
right.
Oh shit. So I run back in the house, make 2 or 3 more orbits. I can't find my goddamn keys. And finally, I'm just gonna have to go out there and like throw myself on the mercy of the parky guy. So I come out and I see the street sweeper go around my car, and I see the guy pull up, and he gets out of his car, and I run up and I go, I don't know where my keys are. Like I really did it sort of like fake crying, and I'm like, I'm trying to move it, but I don't know where it is. And he just kind of pauses and looks at me. He's like, all right. He's like, he goes, just promise me you'll sweep up the spot. I'm like. He was keeping up the pretense that they're actually sweeping up the street, which I liked. Normally it's like they don't give a shit. They're just like, oh, this is revenue for us. The revenue is we ticket people who are in the way of the machine that pushes the dirt from the gutter into the middle of the street. But he actually kept up just sweep up your spot there. There actually was a bottle there, so I'm like, yeah, hey, that's a deal, man. So then he just left. I talked my way out of a street sweeper ticket.
Right.
So,
hey.
He was cool. And I hate to think what would happen if he would have said, sorry, I'm already writing the ticket.
You
would have heard, the neighbors would have come out of their house going, what the crap? I would have unleashed on this guy like,
Was this a young guy or an older guy?
He was probably about late 20s, maybe 30-ish. Yeah. But hey, good lesson because I ran out with a smile on my face. I was not angry. I was just like, I can't find my keys, and he took pity on me.
Now, if you had ran out and you had run up to him and you were like, motherfucker,
yeah,
get off my street.
Yeah.
You don't touch my car. What are you doing here? I can't find my keys. You think it's up to me to have to keep track of my keys and move my car?
Because I'm white, motherfucker. Yeah,
right?
He would have been writing probably give me a fix of tickets for smashed taillight, which he would probably have smashed himself. But I wouldn't have done that. I came out nicely. I'm like, hey, I can't find I'm trying to move it, but I can't. He's stuck. My daughter's standing on the driveway. Daddy, what's wrong? So he took pity on us. It was great.
I think he saw the girl, and that was
that might have done it. He saw her little sad big eyes, like from those paintings, those old Bob Keane paintings. She had the big old. She does have kind of big eyes like that. So maybe that helped too. But anyway, so that's my street sweeper story.
Yikes! I
had a mystery solved for me. By the way,
mystery solved.
And it might be a mystery for you too, possibly, because you're a computer geek. It's a geek alert here, nerd alert. I'm listening to Gulliver's Travels audiobook, which is really great, by the way. Famous. It's written in 1700s. I can't remember the exact year. I should have looked that up. Jonathan Swift, very famous story. The guy he shipwrecks and he finds he's on this island of where the city or the country is called Lilliput, and it's just little people, and they capture him basically, and he escapes. No, he doesn't escape, but he actually ingratiates himself with them, and they realize I'm not here to hurt you, and he kind of sort of incorporates into their society a little bit. But then he has to leave because of political machinations by one of the guys who doesn't like him. Anyway. And I also didn't know that later in the story, I'm only like a third of the way through, but later in the story, he actually goes back home, and he gets shipwrecked again, and he's the little guy. Did you know that part?
No.
Yeah, he's the little person. He goes to a big place where everyone's way bigger than him. It's a great story, and it's really well written. He's very detailed about how he has to use the bathroom when you're 12 times the size of everybody else, and where do I relieve myself here without causing too much trouble? And he actually does get in trouble for relieving himself onto a house fire, but he saves the queen's palace. But anyway, that's how he ends up having to leave. But it's a great story. But anyway, a side note is they started talking about the history of Lilliput, and the other place is called Belfasque. It's that's the warring nation that they're at war with. It's kind of like us and the Soviet Union at the time. Well, at that time, back in the 70s and 80s, not his time. We didn't exist then. Yeah, not the Soviet Union. Russia was there, I guess, but not Soviet Union. Russia? Yeah. Anyway, beside the point, he's listening to this. They're telling him the story of the history of Belfasque and Lilliput, and so there was one of the previous kings or something had a son. His son had cut himself, cracking an egg open. Right. I guess people they would crack their eggs on the big end and do it that way. But he was doing it on the big end, or on the whichever end he did it on. He cut his finger. So the king said, "Oh my God!" He passed a law that no one can cut can crack the eggs on the big end. They have to do it on the little end, right? And it caused a rift in the society. They split, rebels were like, "What, this guy telling us how to crack our eggs?" So they were angry. So they split off into factions called Big Endians and Little Endians. Now, does that ring a bell for you?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah. We use Big Endian and Little Endian is used in computer science.
Yeah, is it a audio codec or something? What is it?
No, it's at the base of the system when you're dealing in the machine language, the Endian, Endian. You're going to use different Endians for different user space.
Okay. Did you know that came from Gulliver's Travels? Maybe they taught you. Yeah. Did you find that remotely interesting? Because I was like, oh my God, it's a mystery solved. Because I've seen that before, and I work with a lot of audio and video, and I'll see there's codecs called Little Endian, Big Endian, or something related to codecs for the audio when you're transcoding audio and video. And I'll see that, I'm like, what? Big Endian? Little Endian? How come it's not Indian? And why would they call that? Why would they name that after that anyway? It's very strange. So that's the story behind Little Endian and Big Endian.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's a great book. You can read it listen to it on YouTube as an audio book. It's really good. Jonathan Swift, Gulliver's Travels.
I could listen to it on the new Apple TV.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Got anything else before we go? I wouldn't mind talking about this. Maybe we can start next week's show with the bizarre freak car accident that was on the 5 freeway. Did you hear about that?
Well, I just want to give our listeners a chance. If you want to chime in, you can send us a message on Twitter, or you could call us on our hotline and tell us what you think about the Big Endian, Little Endian Gulliver's travel story.
Mm-hmm. Let him who hath understanding reckon the number of the podcast, for it is a Google number. Its number is 657-206-0777. Oh, I love that.
Thanks, Dave.
All right. Should we hang it up, or you want to hear about this weird car accident?
Tell me about
first?
the car accident.
Okay. This will bring us on home. Up in L.A., in the Glendale area, I think it was the 5 freeway, probably near the Los Feliz area, Griffith Park. I think. Okay. I didn't look exactly
where it was.
That's about where
my dad lives.
Okay.
I know that area pretty well.
There was a bizarre car accident. A guy was driving a Ford, I think it was a Fiesta, one of those little Fiesta, I don't know, Ford. Not a souped-up car, really, but apparently maybe traveling at a high rate of speed. Anyway, he hit a pickup truck and was not wearing a seatbelt. Car tumbled, flipped. He was ejected and landed up on the freeway sign. His body.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It was there. I guess he was just this like sprawled out thing, and there was like, holy shit, we got to close down the freeway while I get this poor bastard off the freeway sign.
And people could see him up there?
Yeah, he's just, I don't know if he was splattered, but you could see, I mean, well, you see the wreckage, but then this body was
so you're
up
on
there.
the freeway,
high,
and you could see the body
apparently
on the freeway
so,
side.
yeah. Now it gets a little weirder. Because just a little weirder because he's from it was in Glendale, and shockingly he was Armenian. Now I know that comes as a shock to a lot of the LA listeners. Not really, because about 7 out of every 8 people you meet in Glendale is Armenian.
Might be
and
9 out of the 8.
All of their names rhyme with Armenian too. You ever notice that? They all have like Indian names. Mm-hmm. By the way, every Armenian I know is really cool, by the way, so I'm not backing on you guys. I have a friend named Armand, and his last name rhymes with Armenian, sort of. It's got the Inya. He's a listener, by the way. Hey, Armand.
One of my good friends from Cal State LA. Yep. Mm-hmm.
All of them super cool.
She spoke multiple languages.
All of their names rhyme with Armenian. It's very strange. But, the Armenians, they used to have a corner on the market of the printing industry. Like if you needed a business card or like something printed, take it to a photocopy shop. It was like Armenian cartels. They had a lock on the printing industry, and it was centered in Glendale. It's
kind of like if you go buy a slushie today at the 7-Eleven, there's always somebody with like a Sikh or somebody, right?
Yeah. Sikh or a Jain. With a little knife in the... No.
Yeah, with a knife, right? Isn't that Sikhs that carry the knives and wear the turbans?
Yeah. Sikhs, right.
And they're always happy. They're like, please do not piss in the slippery machine.
Again, there was the guy, they interviewed his cousin, and he had bothered to mention that he had some sort of, I don't know if it was a health problem or some brush with death recently. So there was some sort of religious ceremony where they sacrificed a lamb to protect him from like harm.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's in the story. It's in the LA Times. You can look this up. Burbank man launched onto freeway sign. That's the name.
This happened over the weekend?
Yeah, I think it was.
While I was having a great Halloween and a great concert and enjoying my new Apple TV.
The lamb slaughter. I don't know when that happened. The very obviously ineffective lamb slaughter. But I wonder, did they anger the lamb gods? By the way, what does this do to the family's faith in their lamb slaughter technique? Like, what religion is this? I don't know what it is. I don't think the article said. But
well, let me break this down for you logically. Here's how it happened. Jimmy Jane Bob over there went to his family, and the family said, "Look, we want you to stick around. You're such a nice guy. You always help your mom bring the groceries in. We're going to slaughter this lamb so that you're protected." And they go through the whole ritual, and everybody's happy, and they're patting him on the back.
By the way, his name was Richard Penanian. Huh?
Okay.
Rhymes with Armenian. They also, his cousin, Armin Kardashian.
Okay.
Huh? I rest my case.
So Richard,
keep going, sorry.
So Dick, they say, Dick, we need you to be around, right?
I hope no one knows him who's listening. This is pretty insensitive, but apparently he might have been traveling at a really fast rate to
look.
launch
I'm
yourself up
getting
there,
to the
but-
point to
Yes,
explain.
go ahead. Sorry,
His
I
family
keep
loved
stepping on
him. They cared about him. They didn't want little Dickie to go away. So they do this very special ceremony, and it's very hush hush. Only the family knows about it, but he knows. He knows that everyone in the family, in his extended family, loves and cares about him. And they do this slaughtering of the lamb, right? They rub the blood on him. It's a
Do
big
they
deal.
do that? I don't know.
Right?
Maybe.
I'm making assumptions here.
Sure.
So he walks away feeling like $1 million. Everybody loves him, and he somehow truly believes
He thinks he's invincible now because he's got
that
the lamb's blood on it.
He's now invincible.
Yeah.
He's protected. He can do anything he wants. So he immediately goes out and gets stoned and high and drunk.
And pushes his Ford Fiesta up to like 170 or whatever you have to go to launch yourself out the window at that high. Those are high. Those
Right?
freeway signs.
Now, the last time that some idiot drove their crappy car faster than it's supposed to be going, the entire Los Angeles police force beat him up on a video camera, and then we had riots afterwards.
Yeah.
Rodney King was doing 110 miles an hour in a Hyundai.
Yeah, right.
Hyundai
Well, this guy
is-
there was no cops involved. He happened to clip this pickup truck and then flip his car over, and apparently not wearing the seatbelt. Not a good idea.
Right? Because he felt he was invincible.
Yeah, he's like, I don't need a seatbelt. Like the thing probably beeped at him, and he went, I have lamb sacrifice. I don't need you stinking seatbelt. I can't do an army
Right?
accent.
I feel bad for his family.
Oh well, of course.
Right? Because it's not easy to not only get the goat, but to have the
Get the
location
goat. It's a lamb, by the way.
to get the lamb.
Maybe they just
and find a
maybe they
location.
just smeared a lule kebab on his forehead and stuff. I don't know if it was a full-on lamb.
Oh, what if you
Or was
were
it shawarma?
So what if you were the family member that decided, we don't really have to sacrifice the whole lamb. Let's just go to the butcher and get a little part of it.
Let's go over to Zanku Chicken. We'll just get one of the lamb kebabs, the lule, and maybe we'll put it in his pocket or something.
So
Maybe he had it hanging from the mirror like one of those.
so
like
what
a
if his
lamb.
cousin Ellen decided
They're going to kill us.
We
We're
didn't-
going to have Armenian mob hit on us.
we don't really need to imagine how bad she would feel if she had been the one to say, let's not really slaughter the lamb for this guy.
So that she would feel so bad. It's like, oh my god, I should have used the real lamb. He's injected from his car onto the freeway side.
He thought he was protected, and poor cousin Ellen.
But really, the people who bothered to do this, shouldn't this be like a wake up call to your religion that we performed this ceremony, and not only did harm come to him, but harm like stuck its fist up his ass with like no lube, like with cat litter ass raping.
This is definitely
And-
Murray giving that family the middle finger.
Yeah. I would think you got to reassess your religious beliefs at this point if you're that family.
Or just accept, that, you can believe all you want, but Murray's going to do as Murray does.
Yeah, man. You don't know what Murray's going to do, but you can always count on Murray to be Murray.
Murray's going to cause mayhem.
All
That's
right.
what's going to happen. So, Dave, did you have any Uber driving? Are you
No,
close?
I didn't do any Uber driving.
So you're
I
no
haven't-
closer to your goal.
No, I
of
bought my air
conditioning.
conditioner thing already.
What?
Yeah, I decided to just buy the portable one, so so I can have more money for Hanukkah, Christmas, which we call Chronica in our house.
Chronica. That's
Yeah.
better than Christmas Kwanzaa.
Yeah, yes, it is. It's much fewer syllables and easier to spell. But I already did that, so I've took a little sabbatical. But I just got a message from them like, "Hey, you need a driver. We're gonna drop you from the system, so you need to." So I guess you have to go like, if you go without a month of driving, they kind of just assume you're not gonna. So I have to do some driving. I'll maybe pick up someone tomorrow or something, just to keep it
Interesting.
live.
Interesting.
But,
My
yeah.
6-year-old informed me that some of his friends celebrate Christmaka because Hanukkah is hard to say. Christmaka.
Tell them about Chronica, and the adults who like to partake of the weed will particularly like the Chronica.
Chronica.
Oh, that'd be great. I bet you I could sell. Can you turn the mic off? I don't want people to take this idea. No, I want to sell like the top of the Christmas tree. We put a Jewish star up there because of the My wife always says interfaith, but I have no faith, and neither does she. So I don't know why she says interfaith, but
she's trying to be politically correct to somebody,
and she'll tell people, "Yes, he's a Christian." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm nothing." So anyway,
well, you're nothing, or are you an
Jewish
atheist?
Atheist/agnostic, yeah, something, whatever. Depending on who you talk to, I could be an atheist or an agnostic. I talk to Jesse, I'm an atheist with him.
Okay,
we're atheists together. Some people I might use the word agnostic if they use a different definition. But anyway, the Jewish star on top we put on instead of the whatever things people usually put up there. But you could get a really bitchin' marijuana leaf to put on top for Chronica, huh?
I think the Star of David on the top of your tree is symbolic of your relationship with your Jewish wife.
Is it?
Because she's on top dominating the whole thing.
Yeah. Women always do that. You've heard the phrase, when the wife is happy, everyone's happy. Or when mom's happy, everyone's happy. Which means to me is like, if you don't give mom everything she wants, she'll make your life miserable. Which sounds that doesn't sound too nice to me.
Let me put it this way. Happy wife, happy life.
Right.
That's it.
Give me what I want, or I will make you miserable.
You kowtow to whatever she wants, and everything is fine.
Mark this one for the wives not to listen to, by the way. Can you put like a stamp on there?
I'll put. Well, I have a tag in the reader. One's for explicit, and one is for don't deliver it to the wives.
Very good.
So I'll check the don't deliver to the wives.
Just our wives. That doesn't include all you listeners.
No, it's just
you can give it to your wives, but we are not going to let our wives.
Our wives. It won't even show up on their devices.
Good man.
In their podcast feeders.
Yep. I didn't get to talk about Tom Brokaw or Your Belinda yet, so that's for next week.
So next week we're going to talk about Tom Brokaw and Your Belinda. I want to hear that number again.
Yeah. Let him who hath understanding reckon the number of the podcast, for it is a Google number. Its number is 657-206-0777. Our 5 Iron Maiden fan listeners are loving that, by the way.
So I want to thank you for subscribing to the show. You can find the Indispensable Thursday show on iTunes and everywhere that fine podcasts are served. We want to hear your voice. Call our hotline at
657-206-0777.
And leave us a message. Thanks, Jesse. We appreciate your iTunes Store reviews. We invite you to follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Indispensable Thursday Show. Follow us on Twitter at Sable and Dave. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Sable.
And a little Laser Lloyd to bring us out.